Hello everyone. Today I would like to share with you the topic, the role of technique in emotional expression in Mozart's Piano Sonata K330. My presentation is divided into 5 parts. First, introduction. Second, the role of harmony and tonality in emotional expression. Third, the role of ornaments in emotional expression. Fourth, the role of touch and pedaling in emotional expression. And the last, summary. First, introduction. We all know that Mozart is one of the greatest composers of the classical period. Although his life was short, he lived as 18 piano sonatas. These works not only represent the peak of the classical sonata form, but have also become important teaching material for piano study today. Among them, Sonata K330 can be said to be a representative work of Mozart's mature period. It is not only beautiful in melody and clear in structure, but also demonstrates rich layer of emotional expression through various performance techniques. Therefore, this study analyzed Mozart's Sonata K330 from 3 aspects: the role of harmony and tonality, the role of ornaments, and the role of touch and pedal, in order to explore Mozart's compositional features and style, which help us better analyze and grasp emotion expression in performance. In the following discussion, I will combine the interpretations of 2 pianists, Daniel Barenboim and Ms. Tsuto Uchida. Both Barenboim and Uchida became famous as pianists, displaying, cultivating the core repertoire of classical music, and are internationally acclaimed for their authoritative interpretation of German orchestral works. Part 2. The role of harmony and tonality in emotional expression. Let us first look at the tonality. K330 consists of 3 movements, adopting the typical 3-movement structure: allegro, andante, and allegretto. The overall tonality is centered on C major, which gives the work a natural brightness and singing quality. The first movement uses sonata form, with tonality shifting from C major to the dominant G major. The main theme is lively and bright, while the secondary theme is more lyrical and delicate. This change in tonality creates contrast between liveliness and gentleness. In the development, Mozart frequently uses modulation and dissonant chords, creating tension and expectation, as if hiding complexity lie beneath the chief surface. The second movement is in rounded binary form. The tonality shifts from the preceding C major to F major, and the overall mood clearly changes from bright and cheerful to tender and introspective. Section A features grateful, sweety melodies, while Section B moves into minor keys, with chromatic harmony bringing deep melancholy. This contrast between light and dark is one of Mozart's most moving features. movement is also in sonata form. With the tonality returning to C major, the melody is lively and structure complete. We can feel an emotional return from melancholy to brightness, as if after inner turbulence, one returned to childlike innocence. That overall, the tone change in K330 are not radical, but rather achieve emotional follow-through subtle contrast within the classical form. Mozart has complex human emotion with seemingly simple tonal relationship, both childlike purity and feeling adult melancholy. This dancing with chance balance is the highlight remain of classical music. Now, let's look at the harmony. In a piece of music, the relationship between harmony and melody is close. The two are inseparable. Rich harmony makes the melody clear, while music language, under the influence of harmony, becomes more logical. Melody and harmony together are the most direct sport of emotional expression. At the beginning of the first movement, in order to highlight the melody, Mozart mainly used conventional chords and enclosed space harmonic procession of TSD, using content inversion to weaken and harmonic weight and highlight the melodical line. This immediately gives us sense of brightness and levels. Barenboim and Uchida both make the left-hand harmony here. Enhance the right-hand melody expression childlike innocence. In the development of the first movement, harmonic rhythm accelerates and diminishes 17 chords creates darker sonorities, influencing emotional expression. Beneath the cheerful surface, hiding shades of melancholy begin to appear. Both Barenboim and Uchida played this section softly, but Barenboim made a small crescendo in here, enhancing the E-flat in the fourth measure, while Uchida brought the dark sound. Combine the downward melodical motion in the earlier bars and the P demonic marking later. The performer can add a slight crescendo here to enrich emotional expression. Part 3. In Mozart's music, ornaments are not merely technical direction. They are often catalysts for emotional expression. Here, we will analyze 3 ornaments. trio, adjectura, approachtura, and turn. First is the trio. In K330, short and delicate trios make the melody more vivid and lyrical. For example, the trio at the beginning of the first movement is like the innocent laughter of the child, aiding playfulness, comparing in interpretations of Barry Brown and Uchida. Barry Brown's the trio on the main note, while Uchida begins from the upper accelerum note. They are different. And next is the approachtura. The approachtura was one of the most expressive ornaments in the classical period. At the first, it was used to enhance a note, but with the development of keyboard music, its function gradually became more complex and diverse. There, we will discuss separately in the different express quality of the accatura and the approachtura. First is the adjectura. Often not taking up rhythmic value, is especially frequent in the first movement. From an perspective, it injects agility and levelness into the melodic line. By playing the adjectura before the main note, Mozart creates a sense of light jumping, like children playing. Both Barry Brown and Uchida play these ornaments slightly and quickly. But Barry Brown slightly imprehends the following main note. While Uchida play both notes with equal strength. So, to highlight the sense of innocence and playfulness, the performer can add a bit of dynamic contrast between the adjectura and the main note, enrich the musical texture. So next is approachtura. Approachtura is one of Mozart's most powerful tools for emotional expression. In the pianistic context of the second movement, this prolonged discuss reasonable music science, perfectly embodying the characteristics of the infinitesimal style of the classical period. When performed The oppositor creates delicate tension before resolution, imitating human breathing in deep expression. Mozart combines these ornaments with crescendo and forte making them emotional catalysts. I will show you. Next is turn. Turn is one of the most expressive ornaments in Mozart's musical language, and its emotional function is exquisitely shown in the second movement. Unlike the lightness it gives in the first movement, here the turn with its unique melodical contour creates a melancholy and lingering emotional atmosphere. Mozart embeds these ornaments into key melody points, making the melody not only graceful, but also full of suitable emotional variation. Here, Barenboim and Uchida adopt different approaches. Barenboim plays according to the first example, while Uchida follows the second. So, in performance, the ornament can be slightly lessened in duration, forming a following melodical curve. Through subtle pitch changes, it creates an auditory imagine reminiscent of a winding mountain road, suggesting inner emotions that are complex and intricate. Part 4. The role of touch and pedaling in emotional expression. Mozart's music often gives a light and transparent feeling, which requires performance to achieve fast, accurate, and even. In repeat passage, so that the sound has a pretty quality. Only then can the musical's liveliness and elegance be conveyed. For example, in the first movement, if the Albert bass is played clear, it supports the right-hand melody, making it light and happy. Both pianists distinguish clear between melody and accompaniment here. Not only highlight the melodic line, but also showing a lovely character of the piece. Here, Barenboim's performance is used as an example. second movement. The touch is completely different. What is required here is a singing touch. The fingers and arms must succeed the melody into long lines, express melancholy and introspection. The performer even needs to breathe with a perhassing, making the music sound as nature as human speech. Here again, Baron Browne's performance is taken an example. The last is pedaling. At the end of the first movement, both Uchida and Baron Browne add a light, succinctly pedal in 14/7 bar. After the fast 4-bar passage, this not only highlights harmonic color changes, but also intently shifts the emotional atmosphere from lively brightness to tenderness and expectation. From a harmonic presentative, it also gives a sense of resolution. This suitable pedaling maintains the clarity of classical style, while through harmonic continuation, creating delicate emotion, tension, and a dramatic contrast of light and darkness. The last part, conclusion. Through the analysis of harmonic ornaments, touch, and pedal in Mozart's Piano Sonata K330, we can clearly see the close connection between musical technique and emotional expression. Harmony as the structure framework provides the basic emotional outlines through tone layout. Harmonic progression and special chords. Ornaments as fine decoration of melody. Enrich the details and levels of emotional expression. K330 demonstrates how Mozart perfectly combined technical mastery with profound emotional expression. Similarly, simple musical material, through careful handling, gains rich emotional meaning. Harmonic changes create contrast and development, while ornament gives the musical individuality and suitable nuances. The difference in handling ornaments between performance version also shows that Mozart's emotional expression has both a historical, stylistic foundation and room for performance, personal interpretation. Understanding the relationship between technique and emotion not only helps us better express Mozart's music, but also provides reference for piano performance practice. Through today's discussion, we can see that in Mozart's K330, harmony and tonality, ornament, touch, and pedal, these semi-technical aspects are all inseparable from emotional expression. Harmony contrasts the large emotional framework. Ornaments add delicate color to the melody. And touch and pedal bring emotions into sound in performance. As piano learners and performers, we should not only focus on technical accuracy, but also on the emotional logic behind the techniques. Only then can we truly transform Mozart's music from notes on the page into songs that touch the heart. Thank you for your listening. So now, anyone have a question? Yes.
What are the technical and the emotional characteristics of Mozart's latest sonatas?
More technically complex, more emotional profound, more structurally sophisticated, and reflective of somatic thinking. Yes.
What are the shortcomings of existing studies on Mozart's sonata?
Most studies focus on the analysis of a single work, like a systematic compression of the overall system evaluation of Mozart's sonata, and seldom explore the direct correlation between performance technique and emotional expression.
Different angle is I heard you talk about emotions and how to define the emotion in with performance and such a subjective experience be systematic analysis.
Emotion in music expressed through elements such as melody, harmony, tempo, dynamic, articulation. Also, emotional response is subjective. Performers use these technical tools to create relatively consistent emotional expressions. This study adopts a qualitative research method to explore how specific techniques contribute to emotional expression. While not precisely quantifiable, this approach allows for a structured interpretation of the emotion impact of different performance styles.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.